Every day, more than 100,000 tons of glass are produced around the world. In Brazil alone, the annual production of glass is estimated at 1.5 million tons. To meet this enormous demand, thousands of tons of sand must be processed every day. But have you ever wondered how this fine powder is transformed into one of the most widely used solid materials in the world? In today's video, we will see how glass is made from melted silica sand. Stay with me until the end. I'm Vitor, and you're watching Factory Secrets. Before we begin, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you never miss our videos. The world as we know it could not exist without glass. This marvel of engineering is almost everywhere. It is an essential part of buildings, automobiles, smartphones, and even solar panels. Although it seems fragile, glass can be surprisingly strong. When reinforced, it can withstand extreme temperatures, high pressure, and even violent impacts. Because of its incredible strength, glass is one of the most widely used materials in construction. It is believed that glass was discovered accidentally by ancient civilizations when they heated silica-rich sand together with wood ash, which contained sodium carbonate. This mixture produced a substance that, when cooled, formed a vitrified material. The first glass objects were made in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia around 3000 BC. These were small items such as beads, amulets, and vases. They were usually colored and opaque. Around 50 BC, the Romans developed the glass-blowing technique, which revolutionized glass production. It allowed the creation of larger, thinner objects in less time. Later, during the Industrial Revolution, machines and modern furnaces made mass production possible. Flat glass used in windows and mirrors began to appear. However, glass production was still complicated and expensive. Glass was poured onto flat surfaces, but the process was slow and inefficient, and it did not produce perfectly flat glass. This required grinding and polishing, which increased the final cost. Everything began to change in 1952, when the British engineer Sir Alistair Pilkington invented and developed a revolutionary method called the float glass process. This method allowed the continuous production of perfectly flat glass by making molten glass float on a surface of liquid tin. Thanks to this innovation, it became possible to produce completely smooth and transparent glass on a large scale. And at a lower cost, the basic raw materials used to make glass are silica sand, sodium carbonate, soda ash, and limestone, recycled. Glass pieces can also be added. This dry mixture is called the batch. Silica sand is obtained from natural deposits rich in quartz, such as riverbeds, dunes, and sedimentary rocks. After extraction, the sand goes through a beneficiation process that includes washing, screening, and removing impurities, resulting in a pure and uniform material. The washed sand and other raw materials are then sent to glass factories. Large industries may receive up to 5,000 tons of silica sand every week. The ingredients are stored in large silos and collected as needed for the production line. The ingredients are carefully measured and mixed before entering the furnace. Each component has a specific role in the glass-making process. Silica sand, which represents about 60% of the composition, is mixed with soda ash and limestone. These components modify the structure of the silica sand, helping to lower its melting point and allowing the mixture to melt more easily. Soda ash reduces the melting temperature of silica, while limestone helps improve the strength and durability of the glass. Another important ingredient is recycled glass cullet, which helps reduce energy consumption because it melts faster than raw materials. It also reduces environmental impact and improves furnace efficiency. Other additives, such as iron oxide and cobalt, can be used to give certain types of glass a bluish color. Once ready, this mixture is continuously fed into a melting furnace, where it is transformed into liquid glass. This large continuous furnace, made of refractory bricks, can operate 24 hours a day for 10 to 15 years without being turned off. The mixture enters from one side and gradually heats up until it reaches temperatures between 1000 C and 1600 C inside. The furnace Heating is usually done using natural gas. The ingredients melt, releasing gases and forming a homogeneous liquid mass. The molten glass then passes through a hotter zone to eliminate bubbles and impurities. Natural thermal movement ensures the glass has uniform composition and viscosity. The molten glass, at around 1000 C, slowly flows onto a bath of molten tin. This process takes place in a protected environment with gases such as nitrogen and hydrogen to prevent the tin from oxidizing. Because of the difference in density, the glass naturally floats on top of the tin, like oil floating on water. Thanks to gravity and surface tension, the glass spreads evenly, forming a continuous, smooth sheet with uniform thickness. The final thickness can be controlled by the speed of the glass movement. In rollers placed at the edges, tin remains liquid at high temperatures and does not mix with glass, providing a perfectly flat and polished surface. After leaving the tin bath, the glass is already solid but still very hot. It then enters a special tunnel called the annealing layer, where it undergoes a gradual and controlled cooling process known as annealing. The glass enters the tunnel at around 600 C, passes through a slow cooling zone, and exits at room temperature. Fully stabilized, the cool glass moves along conveyor belts where it is cut into the desired sizes. Cutting is done by automatic machines using industrial diamond tips. Both the center and edges of the glass are scored with the diamond, and then broken precisely along the cutting line. Glass sheets can be cut into standard sizes or custom dimensions. The entire process is monitored from a control room, which tracks furnace temperatures, glass quality, production speed, and every stage of production in real time, ensuring efficiency, safety, and high quality. Glass with imperfections is rejected, crushed, and returned to the beginning of the production chain. As recycled glass cullet, approved glass sheets are collected and stacked vertically on metal racks. They are separated with protective materials to prevent scratches and breakage, and are ready to be packaged and distributed to the market. In artisanal glass production, all stages are done as manually as possible. Each part of the furnace contains molten glass of different colors used to produce various glass plates. When the material is melted, workers quickly remove the molten glass from the furnaces using special ladles and bring it to a mixing table. It is important to keep the glass moving constantly to prevent premature cooling. To create mixed designs, up to 5 different colors of glass can be combined. Before the glass is stretched into a sheet, the craftsman uses a special fork-like tool to mix the glowing molten mass. Next, the molten glass is placed into a rolling machine, which presses and flattens the mass evenly as it passes between rollers. The distance between the rollers determines the thickness of the glass sheet. After the sheet is formed, it moves to an annealing furnace, where it is gradually cooled to prevent cracks or breakage during cutting. The cutting process is also done manually using a diamond-tipped or tungsten carbide cutter. And this is how more than 100,000 tons of glass are produced every day around the world. If you want to know how a big pen is made, check the link in the description and the first comment. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and share it with your friends. Leave a comment telling us where you're watching from and what you thought of this episode. Subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell so you'll always know when we publish new content. Thank you for staying with me until the end. If you want to keep learning, click on one of the recommended videos appearing on your screen. May God bless you and your home, and stay well.